Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel, where it's been about 10 days since my last video.
Just when you thought it was safe to get back into bed.
And as I've told you in the past, when there's this kind of a delay in the next video, you can be sure that I'm as frustrated as you are in wanting to get this next video up. But a lot of urgent emergency business came up the last 10 days that had to be taken care of. Fortunately, none of it health or medical related, but I'm back today with a very exciting new product. If you're as obsessed with peanut butter as I am, this is a big deal from Hershey, the Reese's Outrageous bar. I've been waiting for this for quite a few months, and it just never shows up. I keep seeing the ads on social media about Outrageous, but I never see it in the store. And finally I found it at CVS of all places. Anything with peanut butter is good as far as I'm concerned. Here's my favorite peanut butter Jif. I highly recommend, and I at all times have some sort of Reese's products on hand. These are the old-fashioned peanut butter cups that started it all. I've got here a fast break bar. These are very good. I even have here Don't Tell the Easter Bunny. I've still got Reese's Pieces eggs stored away from Easter. These are good through January 2019, so I can be eating peanut butter Reese's Pieces eggs on Christmas. And the one bar I don't have here, of course, is the Reese's Nutrageous, which may well be the greatest candy bar ever made. It's Snickers is cocaine, then Nutrageous is crack, because it is just a wonderful combination. And it being so good, it's not surprising that they don't have it all the time in the stores that you can get. I usually try to get the ones at Halloween if they come out in the fun size, but I much prefer preferably the king size Nutrageous to get a full serving size. So what this is very similar to Nutrageous, except they have replaced the peanuts with Reese's Pieces, E.T.'s favorite candy. Here's a close-up on the wrapper. Not that much to it. Well, here it is out of the wrapper. You can see it's quite small compared to what a Nutrageous bar is and has been in the past. But this seems, really small. It's not as tall as a Nutrageous bar because they're using these little tiny miniature Reese's Pieces is one issue. And if you bought Reese's Pieces recently, that's one of the ones I forgot to bring out here. I actually do have some Reese's Pieces, and they recently have been hit by a shrink ray. They had much better nutrition information than M&M's with peanut butter, and I found out why all of a sudden, because they have shrunk them down recently. I know E.T. would be very upset about that. And as you can possibly see, there's been some leakage of the caramel, just as you would find in the Nutrageous quite often. It makes it stick to the wrapper. The aroma is mostly that chocolate on the outside. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. first bite was very, very sweet. The flavor was a very small note of chocolate, but overwhelmingly that candy coating on the Reese's Pieces. And you get that candy shell quickly builds up on the crown of your teeth. And so it's a very different texture experience from the Nutrageous as well. Just kind of surprising how little peanut butter flavor there is. It's, if anything, more of the Reese's Pieces filling peanut butter flavor than the standard Nutrageous that's in here as well. Frankly, as the Reese's Pieces have shrunk over the years, the candy coating starts to become much more dominant over the peanut butter, which is why I always try to pick up plenty of these eggs at Easter, because they're a lot bigger and they have a lot more peanut butter inside.
How'd you get into this room? Intruder alert!
Intruder alert!
Consider yourself my prisoner. Now that you're here, I might as well tell you about my latest diabolical scheme. T-Bob Tower is no longer enough. It's time to begin planning for the greatest product of my genius, Tarnation Manor. First, I must find a suitable property in a rural area. On that site shall rise a palatial estate staffed by Eastern European women, the infamous Tarnation Manor.
Tarnation Manor.
What are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go to be a guest at Tarnation Manor?
Well, I'll say there's just enough peanut butter detectable in the flavor of this that it's enough to be branded a Reese's product. But if you're really a fan of peanut butter, this is not really the best Reese's product for you. I think this is more for the person who likes Reese's Pieces more than the peanut butter cup or the Nutrageous, because that's really what you get in this bar, is that really the flavor that is most prominent is Reese's Pieces, as well as the texture. So if you ever wanted to have Reese's Pieces with chocolate around them, this is the product for you. If you're a big fan of Nutrageous, not so much. You can almost make the case, sort of like Snickers, that Nutrageous is almost a healthy snack you can have between meals or in an emergency. It has some food value with the peanuts in it. And if you look at the nutrition facts on the Nutrageous, and even for that matter the peanut butter cup, you'll see they're much, in relative terms, healthier than many other candies are that have no redeeming qualities. This one, it does not have, if you have to try to balance sugar and protein in your diet, and that's something that Snickers and Nutrageous are better at. The scale is much more weighted down to the sugar side with the Outrageous bar. Perhaps that's why it's called Outrageous, because there is much more sugar. The nutrition facts are a lot less healthier. And so if you really want a sweet candy flavor with a hint of peanut butter and wrapped in chocolate, then I would highly recommend the Outrageous bar. If you're looking for that hearty peanut based, talking about real peanuts inside the bar, this is not the bar for you, and does not provide as much peanut butter flavor as the fast break or the Nutrageous. So I would say if you're like me and you're a big fan of Nutrageous, I'm going to go ahead and give this a, if you're considering it from the standpoint of a Nutrageous fan, I would have to go ahead and give this 3 stars, a satisfactory rating, a very good quality product. It just does not quite live up to the Nutrageous expectations. However, if you're just an ordinary candy person, then you can go ahead and, I would argue you could even say this is 5 stars if you just like Reese's Pieces and sweet candy and you're not looking for any sort of health or nutrition element to it, or that you're really hungry, because you're certainly not going to be satisfied with this bar like you would be with a large Snickers or Nutrageous when you're caught starving for something. So I'm going to go ahead, as I say, 3 for a peanut butter Nutrageous fan, 5 for a sugar addict. Hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully not as long as the last time. Bye, everybody.